You're listening to the Hope Revealed Podcast Network with your host, Matt Crump. The Hope Revealed Podcast Network is home to shows like Hope Revealed, God's Got Good Stories, Fight School with co-host and Emmy Award-winning director Bill Nolan. On Clubhouse, the new international room called Let's Get Naked and Cancer FU, Fighters United, or his LinkedIn show called Matt Chat Live. Every episode of every show is designed to give you inspiration, motivation, hope, and the tools you need to navigate life successfully at home, business, or career. So now, your host, coach, consultant, and purveyor of hope, Matt Crump.
What's up, everybody? It is a beautiful, look at that crooked beard. It's all so crooked. It's an optical illusion because my gray doesn't grow on one side over here as much as it does the other side. It's weird. Anyway, it's so nice outside today that I'm outside. Well, I'm in a balcony anyway, and I wanted to be able to enjoy some beautiful North Carolina weather and thought that I would share a little bit of the sunshine with you. Look at that. If I could get the camera. Oh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty nice? I got on my cocktail shirt. I got on my shirt and I'm just chilling for the week. I'm ready to enjoy an awesome week. I took some time off with my family and I just am coming back to work today. And I'm so happy to be able to connect with so many of you that are reaching out to me. And I'm still going to kind of lay low a little bit this week, but there's a lot of things going on. So I'm here for Matt Chat Live for sure. We got Let's Get Naked coming up tonight. In just a couple hours now at 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. I'll tell you about that shortly. And I want to talk about our show, the topic for this evening, talking about success. That's a lot of things I've been talking about for a long time here on LinkedIn and Facebook. And of course, you see all those videos on YouTube. So I want to talk with you about that as well. So I'm super excited to have some time with you tonight, just kind of chill. I don't have I've got plenty of guests scheduled, and I've got several shows that I should be airing, but I just wanted to come on tonight to talk about what's happening with Let's Get Naked tonight, because I think it's an important topic that you'll definitely want to be there for. Now, if you are an Android user, good news is they're doing a beta test right now with Android, so you are able to come on, or limited supply anyway, and they'll be launching that out pretty soon. And then the next step is if you are an iOS user, some kind of Mac device with an iPhone or an iPad, you have access to be able to come on. However, you have to be invited and get a pass to come on to get an account, right? So if you're still one of those folks looking for access to get on to Clubhouse, I'm your guy. I'll hook you up. I've got a bunch of passes, a bunch of opportunities for you to get your own Clubhouse account and join us for some of the fun. There's so many great things happening there. I'm going to talk about that tonight too, because Facebook has reared their heads up and they're talking about Clubhouse now. That's quite interesting. So we'll talk about that on this afternoon's episode of Matt Chat Live too. So one of our newer moderators for Let's Get Naked over at Clubhouse, his name is Chris Webb, and he's become a pretty good friend of mine. And his business is called MF Consulting, and he's now also a sponsor here at Matt Chat Live, and he does a lot of work with us for Let's Get Naked. So before we kick things off, let's spend a little bit of time learning about MF Consulting. All right, so Chris has a really cool consulting company. He's out on the left coast. He's out on the west coast of the United States, and he has a consulting firm called MF Consulting, and he really just has a way of just drawing the line in the sand and just saying what's up and be able to really share some powerful things with you and your business, your life and career. He has an incredible website with, it's like a membership site where you can go and learn all kinds of things. He's got an academy with a bazillion videos that you could watch and be able to learn, to be able to invest in yourself. This right now is one of those times where people are really doing that as we've had our lockdown. Now things are getting a little bit better. I think there's some folks that are still kind of got that COVID scare, a little bit worried about going out in public. They don't want to breathe on anybody, don't want to get anything close to them. Everybody's, being cautious, which is a good thing. But I think some folks are probably quite overly cautious sometimes. But nevertheless, we are having some things loosened up here and a chance for us to be able to kind of get back into the swing of things. Speaking of swing of things, I'm trying to work on some things with my son with golf. He's been doing great with golf lately. He plays baseball. He likes baseball. He played basketball. He doesn't like it as much as baseball, but then he's been really getting into golf. So, I really want to try to see if there's a way I can help him out with that with school and stuff. And we're getting ready to go find out what that looks like for this year in school, because there's so many things that have happened with the academics and kids having the chance to do some of their sports they like to do while they're at school. And that's been shut down, right? It's been some weird scenarios. So I don't know what your kids might be up to and what experiences you've been able to have with them. But, this is a great time to plug in and press in with your child and to really take part in some things that they're doing. It's not easy, I know. It's not that our work lives have changed so much as for other people. Maybe some of you have had some more opportunities with time than you used to. I just encourage you to choose it wisely. And don't forget the ones you love, because it's important to spend time with them. Yeah, I get it. Teenagers, they can have brain damage, right? They just, they don't want to spend time with you. They don't like you. They think that you're the craziest person in the world. However, somebody down the street could say the same thing as you did, and they'll think, oh, that's a great idea. You know what I'm talking about. But spend time with them as much as you can. And sports is a really great way to do that, and to let them feel as if you love them and care about them. You're encouraging them when you show up for their events. And that's more than just sports, obviously, but that's one way to do it. Hope that you have a chance to do that yourself. So I'm pretty excited. I think golf would be cool. I live in the Carolinas. We got lots of probably really nice golf courses around here, so it's a cool place to be. All right, so that's enough about that for right now. I want to get into a topic tonight that is kind of a precursor, kind of a pre-show opportunity for those of you that can't make it tonight for Let's Get Naked, or if you're getting ready to think about what that's going to look like tonight. I want to share with you some of those things we're going to be dealing with. So I wrote some stuff down. I shared it earlier on a post on LinkedIn. It says, imagine telling a significant role model in your life something new and exciting. An idea or event that has stimulated you both mentally and physically. Well, it can be anything from starting your own business, joining a sports team, beginning a new career, starting a new marriage, losing weight. Oh yeah. Develop a new outlook, change your image. I mean, how often do you see me wear a shirt like this, right? I won't do it all the time, but tonight's kind of fun. Or continuing your education, right? Instead of receiving an encouraging comment, what you hear instead in your own mind can be, well, that's ridiculous, because you're always fill in the blanks. So tonight, some of the things we're talking about in success is success, goal setting, fear, assertiveness, reframing, even NLP. I've really been looking into that myself for a practice I'm interested in doing. I've learned a lot about it. I've seen some great benefits, and I really think it's fantastic. I know several of you that are watching that are friends of mine that are NLP practitioners, and I've learned a lot in the past couple of years through NLP, so it's pretty exciting. Anyway, there's a lot of ways to help things when it comes down to our state of mind, and this month happens to be Mental Health Awareness Month, so important for us to be able to share life and hope and freedom with other people. And one way to do that is to help folks understand how they can be successful. Doesn't mean you can't be. Anybody can be. Everybody is. It's just a matter of looking at what those things might be for you. So we're going to really be digging into what those things look like, some of the positive aspects of what it looks like to be successful, and some of the negatives. So the question for tonight's topic is, are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of success? Quite interesting, because you can even be on the team. You can join a team, join a baseball team, football team, soccer team, depends on what country you're in, right? Or both. Could be rugby, could be golf, like we talked about before. It could be a chess club, a math club. It could be all kinds of things. It could be your work, the choice of job you choose, right? All these different things you should have as a goal in your mind, that mindset. That success looks a certain way. And some folks' success is, I have to be number one. I have to be I have to be the cream of the crop. Number one, numero uno. And if I'm not number one, I'm not a success. Not exactly the best place to be. Nothing wrong with having high hopes, nothing wrong with having an expectation of achieving greatness. But when all you can do is think that you have to be the best at something, and it just kind of ruins everything else, because you're not feeling good if you're not the best, and everybody else knows if you're not the best and you're not feeling the best. So, what are you afraid of when it comes to success? Are you afraid of success? So you've got the positive side and the negative side. And the negative side is people that are just really afraid to achieve, people that are afraid to go after stuff. Why might that be? It could be that maybe folks are afraid of the responsibility. Maybe there's a lot of things that comes with being successful, and some folks are happy with leading a quieter life, something that's not so hard to do. Maybe it's the fact that somebody realizes that if you're successful, besides responsibility, you've got more work, right? Obviously, responsibility goes with that a bit, but it means, man, if I'm going to have to be successful, I've got a whole lot more I have to do in order to maintain success. I thought about that over the past couple of days. I've been thinking about the topic for this week on Let's Get Naked, and there's a few folks that, well, quite a few. I mean, LinkedIn's a great place to find this, but I've been able to watch some people's careers and life progress right before my eyes here on LinkedIn. And so have you. Some of you watched me back when I had a long beard and fighting stage 4 cancer, and decided one day when I felt like it was time to proclaim healing and believe that things were looking better in my life, that I was the one that made the choice when hair came off my face, not cancer. And at one point, I went ahead and cut it off, right? And now it needs to be straightened up a little bit. There we go. I keep messing. It's that little thing. Curves like crazy. Anyway, we have an opportunity to see what success looks like in people's lives. And when we're watching success day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, when you see things like that happen in other people's lives, it can be incredibly inspiring. It can be absolutely a great catapult for you. And other places, it can be a downfall, a pitfall, a place where it's so easy to feel less than, a place where you can feel like everybody else is better than I am, and I'm not exactly all that. And I tell you these things because I've gone through it myself. Been through, going to go through. I mean, that's what our show tonight called Let's Get Naked is all about. So here at Matt Chat Live, you get a little bit of that experience, is that, there are times we just have to be real and admit sometimes that things are really, really hard for us and we need help from other people. In my time as a coach and a consultant, I have heard several times from some executives and CEOs that they were, some said afraid, and some said we're just not willing to. So either not willing to or afraid to ask for help. That's a crazy thing to think, right? Unless you know what I'm talking about. It could be that maybe you're expected to not have to ask help for the certain thing you're asking help for. Maybe you're supposed to be someone they thought already knew the answer to that, but you don't. Maybe you kind of know it, but you don't know it very well. So what is success? Is success a place where you just kind of wallow in that misery of uncertainty and the act of astonishment instead of just being real and saying, man, I need some help? And it's cool when you have people around you that are fantastic, because when they believe in you, you believe in them. Then you could say, hey, Bob, Bill, Sally, Jane, I know that you do this, and this really well. And to be honest with you, I'm not that good at it. And I'd like to be better. So you mind if we have lunch sometime and you tell me a little bit about how you do it? Bam, that's simple. Nobody's going to think less of anybody. Matter of fact, when you do something like that, they're going to think greater things about you, right? What about if you're on the opposite side? Do you want to be a person that's somebody that they can ask you that question? Well, it all depends on how you're acting with things and doing things in your life. All right, so I talked about some fear of responsibility. Sometimes you might have to work harder. What about the fear of getting everything you want, right? You work so hard for stuff, and finally you've achieved the dream. You're making the money you want to make. You're buying the toys you want to have. You have the security you're looking for, right? But there's this fear, the fear that you're going to get everything you want and then lose it. Wow, it's a wild place. It's a real place, a place where people struggle. We're going to talk about that tonight too. Then there's the fear of letting go of your comfort zone. So are you afraid of success? And sometimes when you say, if you want to be successful and you're not afraid of success, are you willing to leave your comfort zone to be that place? I've been watching, I've been binge watching some shows just like everybody else has. Let's just be real. Some of y'all don't. Some of you don't have a life at all. It's time to wake up and get a life a little bit. Sorry, but I don't mean Netflix has life, but whatever. All right, so I've been watching some shows lately. And one of the shows that I started watching is a really dumb and so freaking hilariously real show called Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest. I think it's on Apple Plus TV, right? And it's a show about a guy who created a game, and he's so egotistical and full of himself, but he's super smart, and he made something really credible, and he knows it, right? He knows everything. He's just all about that, all about himself, and he just tries to be more and more successful, and he's got some people around him. Anyway, the show is built up with all these different types of characters that you would find. They're like hyper characters that what you'd find in real life situation. It's not like The Office, because it's, The Office is more what's the word I'm looking for, is sarcastic. Office is more sarcastic, but Mythic Quest is like they make bigger these issues, and they could really poke at it. And it's quite interesting to watch what happens when some people are challenged to leave their comfort zone, to be able to achieve greater things. And in the show I was watching, let's see, it wasn't Mythic Quest. It's another show I started watching as well. Goodness gracious, can't remember what it's called. But anyway, it's a show about these folks that designed an app called GenCoin, and they developed a new currency of the future, and somebody stole all of their plans, and now they're trying to get their lives back, and they got all jacked up, and it's a crazy long story, but in the story, like, they all had to face these things about comfort zones, and the girl who writes this code is really, she's kind of like a very introverted person, but she's very opinionated, knows what she wants. She's really powerful woman, and she wrestles really hard when they took everything from her. Like, legit, they took it all from her, and it ruined her life. And she had a choice. At one point, she came and found the guy who was responsible, or at least partly responsible, for this whole takeover of her life. And she chased him down, gunpoint to his head. And right when she's getting to pull the trigger, it went to a commercial break, right? And it came back and was on to the next scene. She didn't kill him, but she was so close to doing it. She looked for help from a friend. And in the midst of that time, she was really wrestling with what she was supposed to do. And at that moment, she started to really dig deep in herself. And she found something that was probably there all along, but she was so overwhelmed by everything else that she couldn't see it. And it took that crazy rocking of her world. That was totally unfair. That was definitely screwed up and messed up. Like, she had every right to go off on somebody and sue them, all this stuff. But she was able to come to a place where she found something in herself and has created something different that now will probably topple the people that tried to overtake her. And she'll be coming out really on the top. Anyway, it's a lot of stuff. So the fear of letting go of your comfort zone. Sometimes if you're not willing to let go, you're never going to get to that place, right? She might have pulled the trigger, gone to jail, been electrocuted, and that was it for her. But now she didn't pull the trigger, and she found something that she was missing. All right, one more thing I want to talk about in just a moment. But before we do that, I want to tell you about another one of my friends and sponsors here on Matt Chat Live. We usually have guests on Wednesday nights, and we talk about who they are, what they're doing, what they have here for you. And I've got some great folks lined up here coming for you over the next few weeks. I can't wait to share with you some of them. Last week we had Dennis on. He's a really cool dude, and you got to see him from the UK. What he does with storytelling and the gift that he gave away for everybody was amazing. So if you haven't watched that episode, it was last week. To see, today's the 19th, so that was the 12th of May. Watch that episode. All right, so I want to tell you in just a moment that one more thing we're going to talk about in the topic lineup for tonight's Let's Get Naked. But first, let's hear about Encapsulator with my friend Danny Shannon in Australia. All right, so that is Encapsulator, and also a little bit about my buddy Ilio. Ilio's got a studio down in Florida, and he did a series for about a month with me here on Matt Chat Live, and we did some work together, which was really, really fun. So I really want to continue to promote him and what he's doing down there. So if you're in need of some folks doing some production work for you, whether it's virtual production, shows you're trying to accomplish, you need some help just to show up and let somebody else do all the work, press all the buttons, do all the graphics, put everything out there you need to get put out there, that's Ilio is your guy with Fiesta Media. And then, of course, my buddy Danny Shannon in Australia with Encapsulator.io. That's his website, encapsulator.io, where you have a chance to have a video time vault and really challenge yourself for different places and points in your life. Find out where you've been, where you're going, and where you want to be. And maybe find some things about yourself you weren't really sure was going to happen or didn't think was possible. It's really fun. They're using it for teams and management stuff and business building. It's really an awesome tool. So check out Encapsulator. They've got all kinds of things there for you to read about and find about. All right, so I want to talk to you here briefly about one more thing as we get ready to wrap up this episode of Matt Chat Live. Just want to give you some ideas about tonight's topic because I think it's so very important. All right, so the last point, one of the points I want to talk about tonight, for those that fear success, you just don't feel like you deserve it. That's the hard spot. Some folks fear success because they don't think they deserve it. They're not worth it. I have gone through that too. I know what it feels like. It's a horrible place. And sometimes it's a place that's so scary you don't want to tell anybody else about it. We can carry the weight of that place, and it becomes such an amazing obstacle in our own lives that we're never going to be able to be successful. It's like a noose that can continue to get tighter and tighter around your neck until it's done, or this heavy weight that just bears you down. You can't even stand and walk anymore. So as much as I understand what it feels like to say that you don't think that you're going to be successful because you don't deserve it, I can understand what you're saying, but it's not the truth. Truth is you deserve it. You are an amazing person. Now, we all are amazing in our own ways. It doesn't mean that somebody's superstar amazing is you're amazing. It might mean you're amazing is something that superstar couldn't even touch. So there's no comparison in those places. It's just a matter of being you. I really think that's what it comes down to. And this time we've had the past year and a half is a chance and an opportunity for us to press into who we really are and what we really do. And I hope you've had a chance to do that. I really do, because you're definitely worth it. So coming up tonight, 7 p.m. on Let's Get Naked is going to be the show. I'm trying to pull up the slide here while I'm working. See, I'm having to do these things. I was talking about Ilio just a while ago. It makes it so much easier when he shows up on the scene. All right, I'm going to go this way. All right, so tonight you've got it over here. There, got to go this way. All right, there. So we've got normally 5 o'clock here on Wednesday nights is Matt Chat Live, when I have a guest on and we share some great things about their life, their business, and their career that brings great value to you and yours. And then every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and in the future on Thursdays in Australia is Let's Get Naked. We've got an incredible group of moderators that join us each week, and we rotate folks out. Some folks have something they got to do, they can't make it, whatever, we know how things go. But we have great folks every time, and you're going to have a blast tonight, no doubt. So the only way you're going to have a great time is if you join us. All right, so that's tonight coming up at 7 p.m., which is about an hour and a half from now if you're watching this live. If you're in replay, then I'm so glad you're here. One thing that's kind of a bummer right now is that there is no recorded audio replay of Clubhouse? Well, there could be, but that's another story too. But tonight, my show, it's not going to be recorded, and we have a chance for everybody to enjoy that space of safety with each other where we can share things and spill our guts, and it's just whoever's with us in that room at that time, right? So it's a really, really great opportunity. Now, here's the deal. You don't have to come to Let's Get Naked and come totally naked. Let's just say you can show up with a parka and a ski mask and a scarf wrapped around your face and stay that way the whole time on the show if that's what you feel like you need to do. But sometimes you feel like you're going to peel off a couple layers and start sharing some things about your life and interacting with some of those that are saying things on the show. It's a great chance for you to do that. I'm very, very grateful that the show, sometimes it has a lot of people in there. Some folks, sometimes it's a small amount of folks. Never know what it's going to be, but it always seems to be the right amount every time. It's been a blessing. God's really created a safe and beautiful place for people to share their lives, their hopes and dreams, and places where they can really just reveal some things about life for them that's difficult and ask for some help in the room. That's really one of those places where it's possible to be successful. I do have a new book coming out sometime in the near future. I'm just going to say that sometime in the near future. It's almost done, been almost done for months, but I just haven't finished it. I haven't had time. But it's called Success Begins on the Inside. Isn't that crazy? Here I'm making excuses for a book about success that I can't even get it done. I got to get it done. I want it out for you so bad. Right, so Success Begins on the Inside is a book I'll have coming out sometime before Jesus comes, my hope anyway. So I hope you'll be able to enjoy that soon. And of course, I've got God's Got This, which is my book about my story and the things I've been through in my life, how to overcome some of these obstacles, and places where I was able to learn to let go and let God and find out that I didn't have it, He did. That's why it's called God's Got This. And I've got this funny little red spot on my nose you might have noticed while I've been talking, and some other places on my head, and my arm had a big old biopsy right there anyway, just a few days ago at the cancer center. And I'm thankful that I go quite often now, and they are being able to catch spots on me before they get worse. So they did a few tests, and I'll have all those results back here probably today or tomorrow. And I'll share more with you books online here at LinkedIn. All right, so thank you so much again, folks, for joining us here for just a one-on-one time. I ran my mouth for almost a half an hour, not a full half an hour, but at least 25 minutes or so. And I hope you enjoyed what we had to talk about. And we're going to have a longer conversation on Let's Get Naked tonight when we're talking about, are you afraid of success? So again, that's 7 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to get on tonight, if you're on LinkedIn, go to the event page for our show tonight. Go to the event page and click on there that you're part of it. And during that time, we'll have a live chat room going where folks can interact while they're not talking on stage. And we can have some interaction time there as well, place for people to network, share information, and have a good time while we are having fun on stage, sharing things that bring some transformation to your life. You're going to have a good time. I guarantee you. Some fantastic moderators will be there tonight. And of course, you'll be stuck with me too. But hopefully I'll be able to bring something for you as well. All right. So until next time, same Matt time, the same Matt channel. I welcome you to another time here with me on Matt Chat Live. We'll see you the next time. God bless you all.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode here on the Hope Revealed Podcast Network. If you'd like to find out more information about this episode or learning more about Matt's coaching or consulting services, resources, or booking information he has available, please visit mattcrump.tv. And thank you again for tuning in. And remember, in any dark place or any uncertain moment, right around the corner, there can always be a hope revealed.